Hey y'all, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren. Today, first time ever on the Fire and Water Cooking Channel, we're going to test out some Wagyu, A5 Japanese Wagyu from Crowd Cow. I got a sirloin strip, and then I have chuck steak. And then we have two New York strips that are 100% domestic, but they're 100% Wagyu. We're going to go ahead and see which one of these is better. The 100% Wagyu domestic from Texas, or the A5, or the A5 chuck steak. We're gonna give them a try. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, I'm going to show you these since they're out of the pack. See how they look. This is the A5 Wagyu chuck steak. This is the strip, the New York strip, part of it. A5. This is these two are from Texas. They're 100% Wagyu from Texas. So as with everything with Crowd Cow, you get to choose the farms that you want to deal with. And this particular A5 Wagyu is from Awate, A-W-A-T-E, G-Y-U. I guess it's Awate Gu. So that's a really famous A5 Wagyu farm over in Japan. Both of these steaks, the chuck steak and the strip steak, come from the same farm. And these 100% Wagyu domestic New York strips come from Kahlig Farms, K-A-H-L-I-G ranch in Texas. So if you can see, I'll get a little bit closer to the camera here. You can see the difference in the marbling. This one actually looks pretty close to the A5. This one looks a little bit different. And for some reason the chuck looks a lot different. So, but we're gonna try them out, test all four of them, see what they taste like. I'm going to use simple seasoning, just straight salt. I'm not going to put any pepper or garlic or anything on there. I'm just going to put a little bit of kosher salt on all these. I'm not sous videing these at all. I'm just going to cook them straight on the Kamado Joe Classic 2 using the flat side of the GrillGrates. So they're all going to be cooked the same, seasoned the same. So they're all going to be pretty much even as far as that goes. You know, I could have sous vide these, I guess, but I don't think I need to, because Wagyu is supposed to be really tender. The only one I'm worried about maybe is this chuck steak, but it is well marbled, so we're going to give it a shot. I got my grill grates getting heated up now on the Kamado Joe Classic 2, and I'll let these sit here for a couple minutes while that finishes. And then we're going to get these seared. This is going to be a quick one, guys. Not doing anything fancy with them. We're just going to fry them up, see which one tastes better, see if we can tell a difference. And then I'm really interested in this chuck steak, because I haven't seen many chuck steaks out there as far as Japanese Wagyu goes. You'll see a lot of the New York strips, ribeyes. Now Crowd Cow's got some where they do brisket and stuff like that, but I've never seen a chuck steak. So that's why I ordered it. We're going to taste them, see how they are. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to check out and see what the temperature is on my grill grates. I'm going to use the flat side of the grill grates today. I've got them on the second tier closer to the fire, and you can tell they're over 500 degrees from my instant read. I'm going to spray a little bit of cooking spray on there just so we have some lubrication. I'm going to start the thicker pieces of meat first, let them get a nice crust for about 15-20 seconds before I put the smaller, thinner A5 strip on. The chuck steak is a little bit thicker than the A5 strip as well, so just a few more seconds. Let these cook just a little bit more than the thinner A5 strip. So as you can tell, they're getting a nice sizzle action going on. I'm going to go ahead and throw my strip on. We're going to keep them on for about a minute on each side, and then see how they go from there. I'll be right back. Well, there you go, guys. Really fast, really quick. All right, I'll point them out one more time before I take a taste. These two are the New York strips from Kalig Farms in Texas, 100% Wagyu. This is the 100% A5 Wagyu Chuck steak from a Wagyu Farms in Japan. And this is the A5 strip. And you can see part of it kind of came apart because of the seam here. Got a little hot and it came apart. But that's the A5 from a Wagyu Farms as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try. The first thing will be this 100% domestic, 100% Wagyu from Kalig Farms. So I'm going to give a nice little piece right here. First time I've ever had Wagyu, guys. So, first off, even though I didn't sous vide it or tenderize it in any way, super, super tender. You can taste the fat, but it's not like normal New York strip fat. It's like butter, really melts in your mouth. That's very good. I would not turn that back at all. I would not send that back. Very good. I think my GrillGrates are nice and hot because it's got a nice crispy crust here. You can hear it. I'm going to try this chuck steak. The A5 Wagyu Chuck steak from Wagyu Farms from Crowd Cow. Take a look at that. Nice and got that medium rare in there. Nice crust on all these, really. Okay. Again, you can really tell a difference in the fat. It's not the same kind of fat you would get in a normal chuck roast. And again, very super tender without having to do any kind of tenderizing to it at all. It doesn't melt in your mouth quite as much as the New York strip does, but it's not very chewy at all either. I mean, it's really easy. And totally different taste. I really like that. All right. Now for the king of the steaks, the A5 Japanese Wagyu. I'm going to go ahead. Nice crust on that as well. Medium rare. Again, you can really tell a difference. The fat is totally different than any other steak I've ever had. It really, the meat melts in your mouth. You don't even have to barely chew it. It's very, very, very tender. It's a very rich taste, but it's not an overly fatty taste. It's kind of hard to explain. But comparing this to that, you can tell this is a little bit better. It's a little bit more tender, even though this is super tender. You can tell that this is just a little, step and a half better than this. But this is a very good steak. And the chuck steak, if you want to try A5 Wagyu and you don't want to spring for the New York strip, get the chuck roast, get the chuck steak on Crowd Cow, because it tastes very good. It gives you that Wagyu taste, but you're not spending the money that you would on a ribeye or a New York strip. Check that out. That is actually really good. I'm going to go back for that, because even with the even it being a chuck steak, that's pretty awesome. And these for the price, the 100% Wagyu from Texas. Check them out, man. I'll probably order some more of these down the road. They're great. But the A5 sirloin or New York strip is the best, of course. The chuck for the A5 is really good. All these are really good. This one's probably number 1, number 2, and number 3. And that's because number 3 because it's a chuck steak instead of a more tender. But it is super tender even for a chuck. So check it out, guys. Check out Crowd Cow. There's a link below. Get $25 off your first order in the link. And I will see you again on the next Fire and Water cooking video. Check us out on Facebook on our page and our group. Also, check out the Fire and Water Cooking Podcast. Wherever you get podcasts, check out the Fire and Water Instagram. We got to go eat these up. My family's waiting for them. Thanks again.